everyone. I thought I'd create a video just to explain the interfaces of Revit. So if this is your first time opening Revit, it will give you a good understanding of the user interface. So up the top here, we have tabs. And so by selecting each tab, it gives you a different set of tools. This portion here is known as the ribbon. And so we'll just run through what each tab does. So the first portion is architectural, where have you in this portion you've got all your architectural features. Next is your structures. So you have all your beams, walls, columns. The next portion is your insert tab. This area allows you to import other models from other disciplines. And so you've got your different functions depending on what sort of import you want to do, but I'll cover that in a later video. Annotate. So this tab is for your drawing production. So as you can see, you got your dimensions, your levels, your coordinates, your hatching, your text, and so on, and your tagging. And so this is a big portion of your drawing documentation. Site. So this is where you can create topo surfaces, which will be used for ground profiles. So when you do your modeling, you can bring in other, so the civil design, and then you can create a topo off of that, and then you can start modeling. And it's handy for if you're doing piles or any footings. So this is probably really good to get your head around. Next tab is view. So this is where you're taking back to your documentation. So this is where you control your view settings, your access to your 3D model, cut sections and callouts, 2D views you can create, and you can create your plans that are linked to your 3D view. And you also have your user interface. So over here you can turn off and on your project browser, your properties, and so on. Next tab is your manage tab. So this is where you control all your settings really, and so you got your parameters over here, your line style, so your object styles, so you can change your line thicknesses, what they look like at a high level. But I'll get into more of that later. So over here you can create your line styles, your weight, your line weights, your patterns, your hatching. So if you want to change anything, this is where you'll come. Project coordinates. You can come in here and any linked models you've got in, you can manage them from here. Next tab is your modifier. So this is where it's self-explanatory. So you can move, copy, rotate. And so they're probably, it's probably one of your main tabs that you'll be using when you're documenting and modeling. So next we'll move on to the project browser. So as you can see to the left, we got the project browser, and this basically holds everything. So it lists all your families, all your legends, schedules, and your drawing sheets. So you can easily isolate each portion by just clicking the little tab. So you got your views, so all your views up here, and then your legends, schedules, and your sheets. Prior versions didn't have this option where you'd have to just filter through the whole bunch, and that was a bit of a pain. So if we go back to view and turn on properties, and so this will house all your information of a selected uh, element. So you can easily switch back and forth, or you can bring it out and undetach right there and bring it out. So all you have to do is just drag it out. And so if you wanted to bring it back in, you just hold your mouse and then you just drag it back in. And so it would link it back. And so you just do the same, or you can bring it down to the bottom and have the little tabs, and then you can bring it back. And so that's basically the basic overview of the user interface. You can modify the ribbon a bit by clicking this and just compress it and just cycle through and back to there. So, and up the top here, you've got your quick access tools. So these can be changed in and out. So yeah, just have a play around, and I'll see you in the next video.